Hi, I'm Chris Stenger, Director of the Cape May County Biz Hub, and you're watching South Jersey Business with Joe Molineaux.
Welcome to South Jersey Business with Joe Molineaux. Thank you for joining us as we share information, tips, and techniques that can make our business community and your business more successful. Thank you to Stockton University for the opportunity to produce this show focusing on business in South Jersey. On today's program, we will talk with Chris Stenger, Director of Cape May County Biz Hub. Cape May County Biz Hub was founded to provide entrepreneurial services to residents and new and existing businesses. They do this in the form of offering information, training, and business counseling. So let's get right down to business with today's featured guest. Chris, I want to thank you for being part of the show.
Oh, thank you, Joe, for having me.
So take me back to the beginning. How did this opportunity come about, and how did you become director of the Cape May County Biz Hub?
Well, it started, I was a infantry officer in the United States Army for about 6 years. And I got out, I did some high-tech business-to-business sales through a great training program for veterans. Did that for a couple years. Did some consulting for cryptocurrency companies, as well as kind of ran my own Airbnb, did all the renovations on that, did some property management with that. And this opportunity came up when I was looking to make a transition, and I thought it'd be an amazing way to kind of give back to the community and kind of get back towards that mission of community service while, a nice crossroads of a lot of the experience I had and building on the experience and hopefully learning a lot in the same time.
It's funny, I always tell people if they want someone organized to run their business or help run an organization or business, hire a veteran. So
sure.
They did just that, which was great. Tell us exactly what, I did an opening, but tell us exactly what Cape May County Biz Hub does.
So the Cape May County Biz Hub, I like to say, is the free small business resource for Cape May County. I like to emphasize that free. We're grant funded congressionally through Senate appropriations to basically provide tailored services for one-on-one consultations for whatever functional area within the business you might need. It's provided for startups, for entrepreneurs, somebody just considering a business idea, as well as existing businesses. Whatever your goal is, we can help you identify where those gaps are within the organization and then come up with an actionable plan for how you're going to meet your goals and exceed those goals.
You have an advisory board full of a lot of active ingredients, I call it, people that work really hard to make the program successful. How do you manage to find those people, and what kind of walks of life do you pull them from to make a well-rounded advisory board for your program?
Well, I'd like to take credit for it all myself, but I can't. Atlantic Cape Community College, they were the founder of this program, developing the grant proposals to make it a reality, and they put together an amazing team. I had the opportunity to add in some additional banking organizations that provided some SBA lending, but they really put together an amazing team. And Cape May County is an amazing place of people that really just want to give back, so it wasn't too difficult for them to find representatives from different governmental and non-governmental support organizations, as well as faculty from the college themselves, from the business department. And every single time we hold an advisory board meeting, I don't have to work too hard to get them engaged, to be giving a lot of awesome pointers for how we can make the opportunities at hand work to the benefit of the program and the benefit of Cape May County. And
it makes sense to have a well-rounded board to include lenders, and you mentioned the other people that are involved. That's great. So the program focuses on entrepreneurial development, business training, counseling. So you're the director. Mm-hmm. How do you balance the needs of the program with the needs of the business community? How do you stay in touch with that? Like, how do you keep that moving forward?
Sure. So I'd have to say that Cape May County has an awesome setup of chambers of commerce. I'd probably say that that's the first thing that comes to mind, that the Cape May County Chamber of Commerce, Lower Township, Middle Township, the Upper Township Business Association. I hope I'm not the Greater Wildwood Chamber of Commerce. Attending every single one of those conferences, getting to network, getting to meet people, asking them questions about, hey, what are your kind of threats, opportunities that you're looking at? What are some changing landscapes in your industry or within Cape May County? I mean, just by attending and listening to and really just asking a couple small questions, I find way more information than I was looking for in the first place. So I'd say that the county, just by them participating in all these different chamber events and networking events and really being forthcoming about what it is they're trying to do and some of the issues or opportunities they have. That gives me more than enough to be able to create a nice solid direction for the BizHub programming.
One more question for this segment, hopefully a simple one. What's one of the most important business lessons you have learned as director of the Cape May County BizHub?
I'd probably say the value of these personal relationships. Certainly, coming from the Army, coming from, sales background, it is incredibly important to develop relationships. But the unique community of Cape May County really is that. I mean, as much as I invest in, an interaction like with you, Joe, with members of the Cape May County Chamber of Commerce, I get back tenfold. I mean, from starting at Atlantic Cape Community College, just working with the amazing staff over there, Krista Fitzsimmons, the dean over there, Shane Ritchie, Gene McAllister, they've been amazing. The little bit that I can put forward, they give me back 10 times over. So it's been the value of those relationships has just been amazing from the beginning. So I'd have to say that the value of maintaining those great relationships and building upon those.
That's one of the best answers we've ever had to that question on the show. I want to thank you, Chris, for being part of the show, and sit tight because we've got plenty of show ahead of us. Mm-hmm. Let's check out how you can connect with South Jersey business through social media, and then we'll be right back with Chris Stanger, Director of the Cape May County BizHub. We're back with today's featured guest, Chris Stanger, Director of Cape May County BizHub. Chris, again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you again for having me.
So, Chris, how do you define success?
Well, just from my time in the Army, I would define success in terms of outcomes. When it comes to the BizHub, when we hold those seminars, when we hold that one-on-one counseling, just the kind of sigh of relief that I get when I have those one-on-one connections and we come up with a actionable business plan where they can see the step-by-step about how they're going to get from where they are to where they're trying to go, that is a successful outcome for me. That's ultimately what I'm trying to provide here at the program.
Do you think the education that you learned in your years of service has helped you organize and put together plans for people? Because you were working with plans and missions on a regular basis, right? So you think that was helpful?
Oh, certainly. I mean, it's definitely forced me to come up with different processes, and probably in the form of having constant lists, a notebook, giant whiteboards with everything written out for me, nice and simple, so I can always see it every single day.
Yeah.
It makes you have to define your processes so that you can reach those outcomes regularly.
And you are a notebook kind of guy. I've seen you with the notebook, and it seems to work for you. Yeah, it seems to work for you. You mentioned connections, and I'm looking at the smile on your face, and you mentioned success. And when you can show up every day and do something you enjoy, it is a level of success every day, right? Yeah. But how do you and the advisory board and the school and everybody involved in BizHub, how do you continue to keep that connection to the community? Because we'll get into marketing later in the show and things like that, but how do you keep that connection strong? Because you're getting a great response from the community. I've seen the users come in and I've seen the clients come in to get the services that you provide. So how do you keep that connection strong?
I'd say the first piece is that outreach aspect. Me and Krista Fitzsimmons, we're at every single chamber event that we can possibly go to. Yeah. We're always going to every small business expo and seminar and climate update regarding what's the comings and goings of South Jersey and New Jersey as a whole, as well as just general economic outlook. And I feel like getting an understanding of that big picture, that 30,000-foot view, and then kind of whittling it on down to the New Jersey, the South Jersey, the Cape May County, and then getting to have those one-on-one conversations at chamber events, those networking events, as well as, at the end of the seminars, after our attendees have gotten a chance to kind of talk amongst themselves, getting to converse with them and ask them, hey, how did you like that? Is there another topic you'd prefer that we do? And I feel like that's been incredibly helpful to kind of guiding the path of what the program is going to focus on.
You might have partially answered this question, but what is one of them, since you've been in this role, what has been one of the most, the proudest things that you're most proud of that you've created for the center?
I'd probably say is that 8-part seminar series that we did. Joe, you were a huge part of that.
Well, thank
I
you.
mean, you were a large portion of providing the instruction for that course, but doing the things like Introduction to Business Ownership, that 2-part session that you did on the creating a successful business plan, the marketing seminar, covering that social media marketing piece. It was just awesome to see the attendees kind of form a little cohort as they were going along. The relationships there, I feel like they had their own personal relationships out in the parking lot, but it was also just a really, really great, engaged, nice, diverse group of existing business owners. We had some retirees there that were looking to see how they could invest some of their retirement savings. We had some youth there that were already employed in school, and they were looking to figure out, hey, how can I apply my skills to a side hustle that I can maybe turn into a business? So that was an amazing thing to see.
I've watched you work for quite some time now, and I think what you're doing is leading to a measurable level of success. I think it's great. So let's talk about your balance between your work life and your personal time and the relationships outside of work that you form. How do you keep that balance?
I say Atlantic Cape Community College has been a pretty amazing place to work. They definitely do a really great job of creating really, really strong strategic plans, as well as working with you to create a strategic plan that lines things up so that I can make my lists and stick to those lists. Every Monday I come in and I say, okay, what's the big one thing for the week? I really enjoy doing that. What's that big outcome that we're working towards, that 25-meter target, 100-meter target, 500-meter target, and what are the reasonable steps I can take today to get there? That helps me try to keep things within the 9 to 5 and not bleed into the weekend too much. Sometimes it does,
yeah.
But that's to be expected in business as well as regular employment. But that really just keeping on top of what I know I should be doing is how I can try and keep things in the office.
I like that. One more quick question to end this segment. You have been working really hard, but what is the one thing, if you could point the one thing that you enjoy the most, because you mentioned enjoyment in the answer to that last question, what is the one thing you enjoy the most about the work you get to do every day?
I'd really say it's the giving back to my community. I really enjoyed, that's the whole reason why I joined the military. I wanted to help people ultimately, and I wanted to use the skills that I had, the physical prowess that I had, the leadership skills that I was able to develop to give back in the best way that I could. And I feel like I kind of lost that a little bit while sales was financially great for me. I learned a ton. It was great organizations and great people. I didn't feel that same connection to my local community, that same connection to a life of service that I feel like I'd ultimately yearned for. And when I saw this opportunity come up, I was like, this is what I need to be doing. This is my next step.
You found the opportunity found you, but I want to thank you because not just for your service, but also for continuing the service here in our community, because you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Joe.
Sit tight, more show to come. Up next, we put Chris Stanger of Cape May County Biz Hub to the test with the M4 Big Money Question right here on South Jersey Business. But first, a quick look at how you can check out past episodes of the show. As you are aware, management, marketing, money, and media are the essential parts of any business. And when you're in the business of being a director for a business resource center, you need to know quite a bit about all 4 M's. So it's time for the M4 Big Money Question with today's featured guest, Chris Stanger, Director of the Cape May County Biz Hub. Chris, are you ready?
I think so.
All right, let's start with the first M, management. Talk to me about your management style. How do you manage your time? How do you manage the program? How do you manage?
I'd probably say from a management perspective, I like to have things very, very clearly planned out. I like to have a high-level overview with some detail, and then some of that flexibility to be able to ad-lib as I need to, as I see things are working, as I see things aren't working, and being able to change and pivot. Failing quickly and being able to pivot is incredibly important in business. It's also incredibly important in seeing what's working for the community. If we're doing something and it's just not responding well, we need to change something incredibly fast and make those tax dollars work for the people of Cape May County.
Again, one of the best answers we've had. That's really great on management. Which brings us to the second M, money. I know it's mean, it's green, we all need it, but how does money work in the sense of the program that you operate? How does that money work?
Obviously it's an incredibly important part. ensuring that we're meeting and hopefully exceeding the expectations of the grants we're applying for. It's an incredible responsibility to have taxpayer dollars being put towards creating something valuable, and ultimately the money is where the rubber meets the road, whether it's for my program or whether it's for a small business. That's one of the most important aspects in discussing, typically starting off, is how much are you dedicating towards this venture? What do you currently have access to in terms of capital? And then understanding their personal situation, what can we think of in terms of bank funding or anything like that? But money is having a plan for every single dollar and having a reasonable expectation of what that outcome is going to be is incredibly, incredibly important.
Great. Marketing, traditional forms. How do you utilize and take advantage of traditional forms of marketing to reach the audience and promote the program?
Sure. I mean, obviously things like this are great. It's awesome to get in front of as many eyes as we possibly can, because marketing is the way that I always like to say, or it's not my quote, but good sales is good marketing. So being able to put a good foot forward in front of your customer at a time when they see that they're going to need it, that's incredibly, incredibly important. And ultimately, we've done a fair amount of print marketing. Having good postcards, good flyers, good newspaper ads. But also, doing some things like email marketing, as well as staying on top of the things that Atlantic Cape Community College typically sends out to take advantage of those alumni, those current students, former students, as well as all those donors. It's incredibly, incredibly important to keep people up to date and spread awareness.
I also noticed you did a really good kit that allows people, a folder that allows people to keep their information there, but you also had a flash drive in there, and if I'm not mistaken, you have a lot of nice swag too that you purchased, right?
Thank you for bringing up the swag.
Yeah.
I almost forgot to talk about that, but yeah, when we go out to those community outreach events, having those cool little car coasters, those ceramic car coasters, people are always asking, what are these? Are these Christmas ornaments? And it's like, that's what I thought, but having some of those neat takeaways, but also a nice folder with some nice information. It's grab a couple things, put them in your folder, take them home, and hopefully when it comes time for that business idea or opportunity, they're going to remember. And hopefully they're looking down at us in their car cup holder every now and again as well.
That's great. So then we switch to more of the media side. That includes social media and the PR that you get, the stories that are written about you, any coverage you get from the media. How important is that, and how has that helped the program?
It's with the marketing, it's a complete picture. That social media really shows everybody up to date. What are we doing in that day to day, that week to week, and month to month? When we're doing those seminars, they get to see those pictures. It's not just text and some nice logo and branding, which that's nice in and of itself. But seeing the people's faces in the classroom, getting to see you up there with your hands up, getting ready to teach an awesome course on marketing. It's incredibly important for them to see things in action. As well as us being able to have those helpful links where they can very easily and conveniently head over to cmcbizhub.com, just head over, going from our Facebook page seamlessly to the website, or being able to make a phone call or shoot me over an email. Having those digital forms is incredibly, incredibly important to really just being relevant.
That's great. Final question. This might be a hard one for you to answer. I don't know. But which is your favorite M of the 4 M's we went through?
Management, marketing, and media are definitely important, but I'd have to say money. That is where the rubber meets the road when it comes to those new business ventures or those existing businesses. When it comes to having a plan for every single dollar and having a very, very clear understanding of what you can reasonably expect from the money you have at hand or the financing you have at hand, that is the linchpin for every single small business is that money aspect.
Great answer. I want to thank you for sharing your answers to the M4 Big Money question today.
Thank you, Joe.
There you have it, Cape May County Biz Hub's well-counseled mix of management, marketing, money, and media. We have some more business content coming up, including another segment with today's featured guest, so stick around for more South Jersey Business with Joe Molineaux. The team here at South Jersey Business appreciates all of you who watch the show. From time to time, we receive questions from our viewers, and we always do our best to respond to your inquiries. So it's time for Q&A. And here's today's question. Dear South Jersey Business, how can I best determine a good location for my new retail store? That's a good question, and one that people ask me quite a bit. There's an old saying that goes, location, location, location. So let me give you 3 quick tips to assist you in making a good decision. Number 1, consider what you are selling. A product or service that people may not know they want or need could benefit from a high traffic location, unlike a product or service that people will seek out even if it's off the beaten path. Number 2, consider who you are selling to. If you really have a good idea of who your target market or customer is, try your best to locate near the largest group of customers or on a route they travel frequently. Finally, number 3, consider your budget. The more attractive the location, the more it may cost you. And that goes for whether you are buying a building or even renting. Make sure your estimated sales numbers can cover the cost of your location as well as earn enough to pay your bills and yourself. Projections are key to future success. I hope that helps answer your question, and good luck on your search for an ideal location. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's time to turn the spotlight on Cape May County Biz Hub with Director Chris Stanger. Cape May County Biz Hub is an organization founded to provide entrepreneurial support to Cape May County startup and existing businesses. So let's turn the spotlight on. Chris, thanks for letting us turn the spotlight on the organization.
Thank you, Joe.
So let's start with the basic. What is it that Cape May County Biz Hub does?
So we are the free small business resource for Cape May County. We're Senate and congressionally funded through grant funding to be able to provide free resources, whether it's one engagement or 1,000. It's all free for the Cape May County resident, small business owner, the startup, the budding entrepreneur. Whether you have a rough idea, there's no minimum, required product that you got to have to be able to come engage the Biz Hub and ask a question.
That's great. How do you do it? I know you offer some services that you might want to talk about, but you're one person. You have an advisory board. So how do you find the services to get them in place to do what you need to do?
So it's a group effort. With the staff at Atlantic Cape Community College, they're amazing. Krista Fitzsimmons, the dean there, is awesome. Shane really helps me at keeping everything together. Jean's great at providing that guidance. You're an amazing senior consultant for the program to be able to, anytime I don't know the answer, I know I can lean on you. So when we are doing those one-on-one consultations and we're getting to those nitty-gritty details about specific industries and specific, drawbacks or things that I might just not know about, I really, really appreciate that I can call you, or maybe I got to jump on Google or make a few phone calls around the county. But that's really keeping up to date though is trying my best to keep up to date and keep engaged with you, asking questions is how I try to do it.
So let's talk about the who. Let's get down to exactly who your clients are. You mentioned the types of businesses, but what walks of life do they come from? Like who are your clients?
Sure. I mean, like I said, it could be, that student who's trying to figure out, hey, I'm an artist, but I'm not really sure how to apply those skills. I'd like to start a small business, or I'd like to start selling my art. We had one of those come in. We talked about, hey, you can either do those individual canvases that you can sell on Etsy or e-commerce route, or you can potentially do transferring those to a digital format that you can get printed on T-shirts, or make different types of swag that you can sell depending on what you want your brand to be. We also have existing business owners that are like, hey, it's been a long time since I've written a business plan. I need to apply for new funding. I have some expansion that I want to do, and we sit down and kind of go through, here's some good templates, here's how we can get you move forward, here's some great banks in the area that will provide financing.
Do you find with the diversity of the Cape May County community, it reflects directly to who's coming in? There seems to be no age barrier, race barrier, gender barrier to entrepreneurship. Do you find that?
Oh yeah, it's a mixed bag of everybody. I am not quite sure what they're going to ask me when they walk in the door. Obviously I try to get a little bit of information up front so I can be best prepared. But we get some interesting ones coming in every single time. But you have retirees that are like, hey, I just got a great severance package and I'm looking to invest in Cape May County. This is where I want to stay for the rest of my life. What businesses are available? Or what industries make sense? So it's it can be a mixed bag of pretty much anything in Cape May County. There's a lot of opportunity.
That's great. I guess the other question we have to ask is why do you do what you do? Let's get to the why. You show up every day and do this job. What drives you? What drives you?
That giving back to the community piece. Obviously, business is an amazing opportunity to be able to work hard and reap the benefits of that hard work over time. I certainly have some of those things that I have going on in my personal life, with Airbnb, a little bit of property management on the side. But when it came to, I was very much raised that giving back to the community needs to be a huge aspect of what it is that you're doing. And I've always found that I'm happiest when I'm doing a job that, that's what's going to get me out of bed in the morning. It's being able to do something that's going to better my fellow man. That is some of the best purpose that I've personally been able to find when it comes to being able to mix that with a job. It really, really helps me.
Yeah, it sounds like you're having, I see the smile on your face. I don't think I could take that smile off your face if I tried. Last question, what does the future hold for what's next for the Cape May County Biz Hub?
I really, it's going to be expounding upon what we've already done. I think we've laid a really, really nice foundation in my first year here. But expounding on the frequency with which we're offering some of these small business seminars, the frequency with which we're offering some of the upskilling opportunities like Excel courses or QuickBooks courses, but listening to the community on what it is that they need and trying to provide that as much as we can, and really just spreading awareness. I think that's expounding upon what we've already done, the foundation we built, I think is what we're going to be doing next.
That's perfect. Listen, I want to thank you for allowing us to turn the spotlight on Cape May County Biz Hub tonight.
All right, thank you, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. That was today's Spotlight, providing a clear view of exactly what Cape May County Biz Hub is all about. The team here at South Jersey Business appreciates all of you who watch the show. From time to time, we receive questions from our viewers, and we always do our best to respond to your inquiries. So it's time for Q&A. And here's today's question. Dear South Jersey Business, I was told I need a business plan to start a business. I'm struggling to understand why I need a written business plan. Why do I need to write a business plan? That's a good question. And while I do not know enough to say for sure to what degree you actually need a detailed business plan, I would say having a plan, no matter what you do, is always a good idea. It has been said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. There are two main reasons for writing a business plan. First, if you are seeking any form of funding other than investing your own money, you will need a business plan. The document will demonstrate how you will operate with the goal of paying any funds you borrow back to whoever lent you the funds. Second, even if you do not need additional funding, a business plan can and will act as a roadmap for you to follow. It can help you identify problems or challenges that may arise and also give you something to measure your success or failure against as your business operates. So there are two good reasons for writing a business plan. I hope that helps answer your question. We'll be right back. Well, that's the show. We had a solid business discussion with Chris Stanger, Director of the Cape May County Biz Hub. Once again, thank you to Stockton University and everyone that makes this program possible. Let's do it again next time. And until then, let's get growing, South Jersey. Thanks for watching.